I sent this lumber through the table saw. I was able to create from the two narrower pieces that just had one sort of major aspect of deformation, if you want to call it that. I was able to make pretty usable pieces by just having those. And they all are still a little wonky, but generally speaking, they sit flat. You know, as flat as this sheet of melamine is, what have you. Not only did I cut that wider piece, there's the remnant there, I cut the wider piece shorter, and I took the flatter end of it for what I wanted to keep. It was a hairy table saw experience a little bit, because it really is, this machine is set up for things that are square and true or very close to it, and these are not. You can see what I'm up against here. I don't think I'm going to get anything usable out of these, unfortunately. It's too bad, because not only have I got that, you can see that the side is off the table all the way on this side here as well, so I have a complex shape here that I can't fix. It's too bad, because that's the kind of problem we have there. Same to a lesser degree here. This is still a piece that is sitting up and taller on that side all the way down. There's just nothing left in here. Even if I were to make thin pieces, each of those are going to travel like that. If I had a complicated arrangement, like a Japanese style, I believe, for clamping, I could shut all these strips up with glue like I originally intended, and then there's another style of clamping where there's a surface somewhere above the table, and you cut slightly overly long strips of wood and deflect them and stand them in place, and then let them try and straighten out, and it will push downward for you, and you can place them anywhere you want if you have trouble. And so if I was able to make little thin strips here and alternate the grain and pack this all together with glue and stack it all up with weight, and then even install those to push down some of the high spots that resulted from the shape of this, I might end up with something that's close, but then you end up having to take more off of it altogether when you put it through a planer or a sander to get rid of the low and high spots. So then you end up with a panel that's, you know, 1/2 inch thick or even 5/8, and it's just a funny, after 5/8 thick with real hardwood, it starts to become a weird aesthetic. It's nice if you can keep hardwood 3/4 inch thick or greater. It's just odd to see it any thinner, much thinner than that. Becomes more of a sculptural piece. So we're going to try, since this is an inch still, or just a little shy, we're going to try not to lose more than a 1/16 of an inch, maybe 3/32 at most. Anyway, long story short, we tried here. I just don't think there's any redeeming qualities. It's sort of a my bad. It doesn't look like there was any major problems with this piece of lumber. It just seems like it was stored incorrectly and dried incorrectly, and it's just a shame, but I won't lose much sleep over that. Anyway, this is we got some usable stuff here. We're gonna have to find some more, but we're on our way.